Hello and welcome back to another video. I am Joe for Gaming Curios and we're going to take a look at 9 ability tricks the pros use in order to exploit them to its max. So let's go ahead and take a look at these ability tricks. We will begin with a simple one regarding Omen's Shrouded Step, and this trick is that when using Shrouded Step from cover, you can jump to get a better location without having to reveal yourself or expose yourself. This is especially useful while behind a window. The best example of this is in Haven at the B window. If you don't jump while taking cover, you will have a really short range on your Shrouded Step, but if you use this ability while jumping, you will land in between Garage and B side. All of this without being spotted or giving any clue to the enemy team of your position, which is something really important while playing Omen. The next trick regards smokes in general, but it is especially used on Cypher and Viper, and it is the usage of one-way smokes. These two agents are not the only ones capable of one-way smokes, but are the ones that can perform the best and most effective of these setups. One-way smokes are extremely powerful, but they need to be timed correctly in order for them to be useful, and you don't even need to get a kill with them to be effective. If the enemy team knows that the smoke that just popped is a one-way smoke, it will be a major deterrent for them to push and buy time for your team to rotate, and that is why it is important to know these one-way smokes. Now we got a trick with RAZE, and it is using your ult and satchel charges while only having mobility on your mind, because if you think Jet is an agent that has high mobility, then you have never seen a RAZE flying all over a site while detonating various explosions. This is something we're beginning to see more and more in Valorant, the focus on RAZE mobility versus the damage output, especially with the satchel charges. Maybe not so much with her ult, but sometimes that last boot provided by the ult is what you need in order to really do that crazy rotation that the enemy team will need to take care of while your team pushes to the site. Then we have Cypher, and this trick is something you can do with other abilities and agents, but baiting Cypher's camera is particularly effective because the amount of information this piece of equipment gives to Cypher makes your enemies try to destroy it as soon as they see it. So you can place a camera that will be in plain sight of the enemy and pop it to mess with the enemy's crosshair positioning while pushing, and then go ahead and pick them. Or you can even coordinate this with an allied for an even better result. And this may also be applied to tripwires, though it is not as effective as the enemy may know your location from the direction the tripwire arrived from. Next, we have Viper and her snake bites and poison cloud, and this is a simple trick but I rarely see it performed, and it is chaining and timing these two abilities in order to stall the game for as long as 45 seconds if you play this chaining correctly, and this can even be longer if you are confident on waiting a bit more between using these two abilities, so you give time for the poison reservoir to refill even more between uses. This is something we saw Hiko do in our video analysis of his Viper play. Go check it out for some other Viper tricks. This simple but effective trick works because Viper smokes deal damage and are the ones that the enemy team will be least likely to push through, and the snake bites also have a quite high DPS. Now we have a flashy trick regarding Phoenix. A lot of players rarely combo Phoenix wall with his flashes, and this is a really strong combo, especially in wide areas, where the enemy team won't really know where the Phoenix might pop from. So if you add this to having a flash fly out before Phoenix, makes it a great and safe way of picking and pushing a site, plus you get the benefit of getting a bit of regen while performing this combo. We got another Cypher trick. This is a super simple one, but a lot of Cypher players rarely do it, and it is jumping while trying to place a camera. This will allow you to get an even higher vantage point for the camera, or even be the only way to get a camera to be where you want it to be. They sometimes may be trickier than others, depending on the camera spot you are aiming for, but in general, a higher camera is better. Play because it will give you more information and make the enemies be further from the optimal aiming position if they get picked while destroying the camera. Let's have a look again at RAZE, but this time we will be taking advantage of our little buddy, the BOOMBOT. As with Cypher's camera, the BOOMBOT is a bullet magnet, and not a lot of players will expect RAZE to pick them at the same time the BOOMBOT comes out of a corner. This will take them by surprise and will get you a better chance to get a clean kill on them. This is particularly effective while playing defense, more than attack, but it can be used in either scenario. And for the last trick, we will cover Jet's TAILWIND. This ability to me is mostly used wrong, and a lot of players use it aggressively. However, I believe this ability is mostly defensive. Here is why. In most competitive FPS games, while clearing a corner, it is rarely done by only one player. This is in order so that if one dies, the other may get a trade, and these trades are more worth it to the attackers than the defenders, so it is in the defender's best interest not to trade kills, and Jett's Tailwind is pretty much a counter to trading, by being able to reposition quickly and not risking more than needed. But these can also be used while attacking, by having a quick pick and getting back into cover quickly, especially since in Valorant you get slowed a lot if you get shot. That is why I think this ability should be used as a defense mechanism more than an offensive one. So this is it for our 9 ability tricks. If we missed one, let us know in the comments below, or tell us which one you didn't know about. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our coming videos. This was Joe for Gaming Curios.